Now, a lot has been said about the fiscal issues associated with this city. Can you really run a city for the low cost that we think the city light will have? Well, let me point you to this. This is the fiscal analysis of a proposed City of Peachtree Corners done by the Institute of Government, the Carl Vinson Institute at the University of Georgia, March of 2010. This document compares the prospective City of Peachtree Corners to 6 other cities of like size and population, and only focuses on the services that the City of Peachtree Corners would have, and compares it on that basis. Now, the Institute for Government has done these surveys, these assessments for Johns Creek, Dunwoody, Milton, Sandy Springs, all new cities, and all voted for by the citizens of those areas in terms of the charter. Now, the thing I want to make sure you totally understand here is within this document, there is a cost and revenue analysis. In Table 23, there's a summary of expected expenditures. You can see anything from capital expenditures to the court expenditures to the legal services expenditures, administration, and the cost of elected officials, which, by the way, is only $33,000 for 7 people, totals to $760,000 for a year. That's the cost to the city. So all the information you've been given that says this city is going to grow and has sweeping powers starts out as this very, very small $760,000 city, unless you desire to change it by referendum. Now, on the revenue side, the picture is very, very good. The total amount of revenue calculated by the Institute for Government is over $3 million. Now, there's one really, really important thing you need to focus on here. $1 million of that is franchise fees. Now, what are franchise fees? Franchise fees are those fees that you'll find on your Georgia Power bill, just like the Georgia Power bill for Francis and myself for last month. On that bill, there's a line called municipal franchise fee. In our case, it's $2.78. Now, that franchise fee is on every bill in the Georgia Power service area, just like other servicers of cable and gas lines that use the right-of-way for their delivery vehicle. This franchise fee is paid across the entire service area. You're paying this franchise fee in unincorporated Gwinnett right now. This franchise fee is now going to Norcross, Berkeley Lake, and cities across the state, because only municipalities can take advantage of the revenue coming from the franchise fee. The counties get nothing from it. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're already paying a franchise fee. Now, in the Institute for Government's analysis, that $1 million is something that people can say, well, how did you really come up with that? Well, they've been doing it a long time, and they've assessed it based upon the franchise fees of other cities. As a matter of fact, in Dunwoody, the franchise fee they expected was $2.8 million by the study. It turned out to be $3 million. And so I want you to understand that this is a conservatively based number. So once again, you're looking at a cost of $760,000 estimated, and a revenue in the franchise fee alone of $1 million. Why do you need a tax base at all? Well, because you have to reserve against the possibility of legal action. Somebody might sue you on the basis of a zoning issue. Well, there has to be some money set aside for that. That's to be determined by the council that you elect. And the question you ought to ask your councilman is, are you going to go right to 1 mil, or are you going to calculate a millage rate for us based upon a very conservative view of what the cost should be for this city? And I think you'll get a situation that'll be extremely good for you. Now, with that number in mind, you could be close to zero in terms of what you pay when you consider the possibility that trash will be substantially less. Two vendors have said because of the density of this area compared to the overall density of Gwinnett County, they can service this area more quickly with their trucks. Therefore, they'll lower the cost of trash pickup, which is now spread throughout the county in terms of the overall cost. Your cost will go down. So my guess is that, and this is a prognostication, that's for sure, just like other prognostications, but I think that there's a good chance that you'll pay extremely little for the pleasures of having your own control over your elected officials. You'll have one elected official for 6,800 residents as opposed to one elected official for 225,000 residents of Gwinnett County right now. You'll have the control over zoning so that you don't get to look like Memorial Drive or other places in DeKalb County or places in Gwinnett County that may be less desirable. You'll have a great trash pickup situation and with a vendor who is very much committed to this specific area in the city of Peachtree Corners. And you'll have code enforcement that says if somebody's weeds are growing up to 20 inches on their lawn next door to you, that those things can be cut and that property owner billed for that. That's the type of thing we're talking about, from just maintaining the civility and increasing the civility of the area in which we live. Now, why do this now? We've talked about the possibility of annexation. Annexation occurs when another city has a desire to pick up parts of this area. Is that a real threat? Well, look at this letter from the City of Norcross. This is dated May 19th, 2011. Acting in the best interest of their citizens, the Council of Norcross has offered to annex property in the commercial areas in what's now the City of Peachtree Corners, or what will be the City of Peachtree Corners. If in fact the City of Norcross can induce large portions of the commercial base in the area that's allocated for the City of Peachtree Corners, your opportunity to form a city at some point in time later on, when you have a desire to do that, will be severely limited. Why? Because the taxes required to support the city won't have a commercial base associated with it. Is that a real threat? Well, here's the letter. You make the most of that from your own consideration. Well, my friends, thank you for spending time with me today on this issue. I think it's a really important issue. I think it's an important issue to address now. No matter how the vote turns out, I want us all to be acting as good and civil residents of this area. I would hate to see this cause any dissension at all in what I think is a very united group of people here in Peachtree Corners seeking the betterment of this area, no matter what view they hold. I would encourage you, based upon the evidence that I've concluded, to vote yes. I would also encourage you to not take things for granted. I've shown you the Institute for Government Study. I've shown you the clauses limiting this government in the charter. I've shown you the email with the absolute mistakes in terms of factual information and the suggestion that this will be a sweeping power city. It is not. I've also shown you the letter from the City of Norcross on annexation. Those are factual things. I hope you'll make a decision about this issue on the basis of the facts. And you look forward to the opportunity to be a part of the new city of Peachtree Corners and all the advantages that'll hold in terms of control over your local official, one person for 6,800 residents in the council, as opposed to one person for over 200,000 as a member of the Gwinnett Commission. I think the opportunity for improved trash pickup at lower cost is incredibly good. And I think that code enforcement, whereby you just have the opportunity, in case somebody's putting a trash vehicle on his front lawn or letting his grass grow to 18 or 20 inches high, to just be tapped on the shoulder by the city to say, you need to take care of this. we really appreciate the opportunity to talk with you for a few minutes today. I hope you'll get out and vote yes on November 8th. And look to the website in a few days, www.tomrice.org, and I'll have some further information up there about this particular issue. In the meantime, feel free to call me or email me, and at the same time, I wish you good luck and Godspeed as we move ahead together for the betterment of Peachtree Corners.